All right, guys and gals, here we are. Today's project. What are we working on today? So today, we got a whole bunch of stuff we got to get done. This is going to be a little treat for you guys and gals just to see what a day in the life is like for a feller like me. All right, so what do we got going on here? We got the 1971 Chevelle, the Crown Jewel. We got the front end completely blown apart again. We're going to get this guy put in black epoxy primer so we can get it one step closer to being in paint. So what we ended up doing here, we got aftermarket fenders, aftermarket hood, aftermarket inner fenders. And if you're not familiar with the 1971 Chevelle Crown Jewel, go back and check this gal out. We've done a lot of modifications to this car, a lot of sheet metal repair, a lot of work over the last couple months to get it to this stage. So what we're going to do here, we're going to get our primer mixed up, we're going to load our gun up, and we're going to get this guy looking better. We'll click you back on when we're there. Yeah, baby, looking good. Woo, baby, looking good. All right, guys and gals, welcome to our next project today. So what we got here? What do we have? We got ourselves a portable chicken barbecue. Now, what this is a piece of equipment that our local dive and rescue team uses for charity events, okay? Nonprofit organization, this is what they do to help with their money and expenses. So, what we're gonna do, we're gonna come in here, assess the damage on this, see any repairs that need done, get this thing completely tore down, modified, fixed up, and put back together. So we'll click you back on when we're ready. So what we got here, got a little corrosion issues. So this thing has pans in it, the charcoal goes in, heats up, cooks chicken. So you sit in these pans here, it gets put in here, And you got the little flipper grates there. So as you can see, this has got some issues. So we're gonna go in here, we're gonna cut this off, we're gonna patch this up, get this fixed up for their next chicken barbecue. All right, guys and gals, we got ourselves a plan of attack. So what we ended up finding out here is this was made somewhere along the line, I'm not sure who made it, but everything's welded together. So where your fenders would be bolted on, they're now welded. So my idea here, we'll see if we can get away with doing this. The bottom portion of this is completely rotted out from heat exposure, corrosion over the years, everything like that. So what I'm going to think about doing here is shortening this to where I'm back down into some good sheet metal and reattaching it to the bottom frame. So my objective here is I need to get this box completely off. That way I can flip it, cut it, whatever I need to do. So what I'm going to do is start by cutting these fenders off. So let's get these taken care of. See what we got behind this guy. Whoa, baby. Well, that's pretty smart. They put looks like a fire shield between the tire and the actual barbecue here so it doesn't heat up this tire, I'm assuming. Pretty ingenious. So we're gonna go through here, cut the bottom of this off, get this baby pulled off here, start making our marks, and get this thing taken care of. We'll click you back on when we're there. Chicken barbecue, baby! All right, guys and gals, let's get this wheel and tire combo off. Now, the best way to keep track of your lugs is just to put them back on. That way you're not hunting down the road later. It's a neat little setup. Got a little cantilever axle in it for suspension, a little grease hub up here. Definitely well built. And here we got these heat shields, because as you can tell, this is where you cook at. This is a heat shield here. They got that welded to the frame structure and the outside of our box that we cook in. So what we're going to do, we're going to cut that off. We're going to cut around the perimeter here. We're going to get this piece taken off to assess where we're at with our metal, and if we can cut this thing down and reattach it, if it'll work. That'll save us a lot of fabrication and get us our end result we're after. We're going to get this other side off. That way when I start cutting, I can just cut this baby all the way. It's alright. I got it, Teeny. Thank you. That's alright. Let it go. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. I got it. I got it. Good girl. Good girl. It's okay. I got it. I got it, Papa. Helper's got my back. She's trying to attack his tire. She seen me get a hold of it and thought it was trying to bother me, so she takes care of my light work. You checking that tire, bud? It's okay. Good girl. Now we got that out of the way, we're going to take our cutoff wheel here. We're going to start dissecting this thing. Remember, guys and gals, safety first. We're going to leave that attached to our main frame structure, but we're going to pull this out. That way it's out of our way so we can get this box out. Now I'm going to go around here and cut the whole base of this off. Because as I showed you guys and gals before, it's rusted through. So there's not like we're going to hurt anything by doing this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the angle. It's already pre-existing. I'm just going to cut me a straight line from front to back. Let's get this cut off. thick stuff. So take your time along here, get this cut out. Now be mindful, when you got something heavy like this and you're cutting at the base of it, you always want to keep in mind your pinch points. What I mean by that is once you cut this thing free, it's going to want to drop. Just keep that in mind with these cutoff wheels, because these things will reach up and grab you. Alright guys and gals, we're going to finish cutting this off, save you trouble watching that, and we'll click you back on when we get it separated. Alright, let's see what we got here. Off the sides loose. Tiny sliver still holding that side on there. So what I'm doing there is I put a piece in between my top piece and what I'm cutting. I know this thing has substantial weight to it. I don't want this falling and pinching my blade here. So that's a good way to keep yourself from getting busted up. If you know something's going to drop on your blade, put something in between there and prevent that from happening. And always, safety first. There's that. Now all I got to do is cut this back piece. We should be free. Alright, and we get that done, click you back on. Alright guys and gals, oh baby, let's see what we got. Well, that's good. That's good on this side. Yes sir, we got something now. Alright, so what we're going to do, here we are, situation again in the shop, by ourselves. Dog don't have hands, she can't really be helpful here. Plus, I'll be honest with you guys and gals, being this is a chicken cooker, the dog thinks she's getting a meal out of this thing. I don't know what's wrong with her. It smells like chicken. So we're gonna get going here. We're gonna pick this off here, get this flipped over, so we can assess what we're working with. Slowly work it off here. Try not to fold it in half. This stuff is heavy. I'm taking my time here. I don't want to destroy this because, like I said, we're going to shorten this and reattach it. I'm going to do my best not to fork it out of shape. There you can see. All right. So now we got this baby stripped down to just a frame. So you can see it's got a heavy duty angle iron frame in here, but you can just see this stuff over the years. Found out this thing's like 20 some years old. Okay, that's a whole lot of chickens. We're gonna go along here and clean this up. Get all this old metal off. Get this down to our bare frame. So we can see what we're working with. We'll click you back on when we're there. Alright guys and gals, got our little air hammer here. We're gonna knock this scale off here and see where we're at. Alright guys and gals, there we go. We got that baby cut off. We got her laid out here. Got our measurements of what we need to cut in the good metal. We're going to get this guy trimmed up, get this frame cleaned up, get this fit back together. We'll click you back on when we're there. Alright guys and gals, there you can see we got this guy cut down, sat back in there. the rot cut out. We'll do some cleaning, but we run into a snag. We're gonna need some metal, so we're gonna move on to our next project today. What could we possibly do more today? Okay, so what we got a special little project, something fun. Give you a little couple hints, couple tips, couple suggestions. What we got custom canes for our loved ones. We're gonna fix up one of our family members, someone real special, very important, with this custom one-off cane. So we'll get this guy prepped. We'll click you back on when we're ready. Not bad for just cutting this guy out today. Not bad at all. Not mad at it. All right, let's move on to something fun. Click you back on. All right, guys and gals, here we go. Let's have a little fun. So what I got here is I got little index cards, and we just cut a little pattern out of it. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get this pattern put on where I wanted it. Take my little airbrush. Oh, that worked out. There we go. What this is supposed to be is a little flower. You see that? My airbrush spit up there. That's why I always start off the project and go on. So what I'm making here is just a little, for lack of better terms, bouquet of flowers. Alright guys and gals, I got my bouquet of flowers laid in there. Now we're going to do some fade away. So what I got in here is a light pink. And all I'm trying to do is dust this over top of our flower pattern, just to lighten it up a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little darker color as I drop down. That way my fade will carry on. We're going to pour some of this out. Pour some of this fire in there. There we go. So now I'm going to come down here and just dust this until I like it. We'll let that dry and we'll move on to our next step. All right, guys and gals, sorry about that. My little camera I thought was on was not on. So here we are. We got our little custom cane all done up. Did a little fade on it. Did a little hummingbird action. Got a little fanciness to it. Well, hope you guys and gals enjoyed today. Just a little taste of what we get into on a daily. And that's what we do. All right, guys and gals, you know why we do it. We love hot rods, horsepowers, chicken barbecues, and fancy walking canes. We'll catch you on the next one.